What year is this machine, James? A 78. We're gonna show the process, where this seed goes, where it gets dumped, and ultimately how many pounds of seed we harvested off these so-called roughly 25 acres. Welcome back to the ranch. It's a beautiful morning here in the Southern Missouri Ozarks. Now you might be wondering what this big monstrosity is here behind me. It's not normally associated on many cattle ranches to see a big old combine like this, which I might add is a beautiful old John Deere 6600. So this time of year, you'll commonly see some of these older machines like this running around, especially down here in the Ozarks. Now, before he gets started and we move on to the next segment of the video, I want to talk a little bit about why we're doing this and specifically kind of couples and segues into our grazing management. So our grazing management system here, we follow what is known as ultra-high stock density grazing, or the actual program that we follow is called the Total Grazing Program. It's a very adaptable grazing management system, and we have a lot of tools in our toolbox, and we try to use them all. Well, one of them particularly falls well in line with having one of these machines here to harvest some seed. So we rest half of our farm and intensively graze with really high harvest efficiency the other half, which brings us into having a very mature seed crop that really doesn't do a whole lot for us beneficially and or the animals. Actually, it could be detrimental. So we're going to get into that a little bit later in the video, but Mr. James is going to get here, get hooked up, and we're going to follow him around the ranch. I'm going to show you a little bit of what he does, how he does it, and we're going to follow him around with the drone. So stick around, you might learn something. All right, looks like Mr. James is here. I just got done reeling up some fences, some poly wire so we can get in here, get this seed off, and then he'll be going up the top of the hill and hit this bottom field. So we'll go over and see what he's up to. It looks like he's greasing his machine. So Mr. James would prefer we don't show everybody on the planet his beautiful face. So we're gonna respect his wishes. So you won't see a lot of him. You'll just see him operating. There he is, the man of the hour, buried under his machine, greasing stuff. How many thousands of grease points you got on this thing? You got a tube of grease to grease here? What year is this machine, James? A 78. All right, well, he's gonna get this thing greased up and get connected to that header and get with it. Got a couple up that joint right there with this double roller chain. That goes ahead and drives all the mechanism in here. It's one on each side. So I got my drone. We're gonna put this guy up. Gonna fly that around, show you all the fields that he's gonna harvest, and then kind of what's left behind. That's the aftermath, I would like to say, of having that big machine out there on the field. He's running up in that front field so we can get those poly wires stretched back out so I can keep advancing the cattle. But this what we just flew over. This is the main body of our stockpile of fescue seed. Anyway, somewhere I'm guessing 22 acres, somewhere around there. And then we got maybe another couple acres right in that corner. So all in all, maybe 25, 27, something like that. Kind of a rough estimate. But so you might wonder why this is standing and what's behind me here has been grazed off. Well, with our grazing management, we practice trying to rest half of our farm, at least half of our farm, for a full year. That becomes our winter feed. So we actively graze one portion of it, then we go ahead and stockpile the other side. This becomes our winter forage. The following year, we flip-flop that. So the areas we stockpile become our grazing, active grazing paddocks the following year, and then this becomes the stockpile. And in doing so, the theory behind it is that allowing your plants to become very mature, not taking any foliage, not forcing them to go back into vegetation by defoliating, is that they have the opportunity for the whole year to really build a strong root system, put down a bunch of energy in their roots, build deep roots, hopefully to help break hard pants, compaction layers. We're going to hopefully, ideally, create a lot of root exudates that are going to build the soil with the microbes that'll flourish after. So that's just a little bit why we do it the way we do it. All right, got the bottom part of the farm done. I had to get this temporary water line out of the way for him. Now on to the big field. Clipping this, we'll move forward here pretty quick. Once he's got this all done, we'll get back with you. We're gonna show the process of where this seed goes, where it gets dumped, and ultimately, how many pounds of seed we harvested off these so-called roughly 25 acres. All right, well, we had a bunch of rain, so we had another problem. So James is here to offload this, hopefully get it covered, and we'll have to resume here in another day or so. Well, fortunately we got some seed, but unfortunately it looks like that's it for us. We got some really, really heavy rain yesterday, and it likely knocked pretty much what was left of the good seed off anyway. So he'll get this thing scaled and get a ticket, see what happens. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. I think this is one of those losing days. Oh well. All right, so Mr. James is gonna be heading down to the scale. We're gonna follow him. I gotta get my other cameraman real quick. We're here. We're at Mills Feed, Alton, Missouri. Got themselves a scale and dump. He's already got a tear weight. So he's gone ahead and actually lifted it off the truck. So we know he knows exactly what the trailer is going to weigh. Because depending if your truck, how it sits on the scale, if you're scaling just the truck and the trailer off of it, it can change your weight and balance, and it might not be near as accurate. So this is our famous feed store owner, Mr. Stephen Mills.
Nice to meet you.
Yes, yes. Now explain what that brass rod is that just went by.
Okay. That's what we're going to take a sample with.
Okay. And it takes out multiple different
Yes.
samples throughout the sphere.
Yep.
Got it.
This is a cool old scale.
Oh yeah.
This is a brand new 1968 model.
Yeah, I can see.
My grandfather put it in 68, and we have tried to keep it up
Yeah.
so we don't have to replace it.
Yeah.
Mechanical, no electricity.
Yeah. Don't have to worry about all that junk.
Most of the ones now, even old ones like that, they go in and put a digital head on
Okay.
it. And when you got good combiners, they
Yeah, they do all the work.
anyway.
There you go. Just got all those different windows in it.
Yep.
Takes a different sample just about everywhere. Keeps you from stacking your loads. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, stay away from all that water we poured in there.
All right. And you
I
take
think
this
so.
inside, because if not, it will brand you when you. If it stays
Oh, I
in the
bet.
sun.
I bet. I bet. Oh. That's what happens with a tall cameraman.
All right, we got our sample. We're going to take 125 grams of this seed and put it in this moisture meter, and it's going to tell us what that seed is.
Yeah, okay. Your drug scale, man.
Yep. And it is
Very accurate.
pretty touchy. Boom.
Get in there.
And in about 15 seconds, it's going to tell us what that moisture on that
That
seed
fast,
is.
huh?
That's cool.
Get up there and see what it reads us. Obviously, 4.8 grams of originally 100, so we got
Yes.
84% fescue seed. 85.
That's what y'all going to get paid for.
Got it. Cool. See, get to learn something. I love learning something.
You had 3960 of gross seed. You had a bushel weight of 20. The moisture was 13. you had 84 clean out. So this number right here is 84% of that. And that right there, this divided by 2 is what you'll get paid for. So
Got it.
there we go.
Okay.
Appreciate
Hey, thanks.
y'all bringing your seed to
Thanks,
Mill
sir.
Seed.
Appreciate you.
And there's
Awesome.
yours.
Awesome.
All right, let's go
Well, we
on.
appreciate it. All right, we're gonna go follow them where we're gonna dump the seed. Right. This is it. They just slab it right here. Concrete slab. Just pour it in. Got an old payloader. Okay. All right, so here we are back at the ranch. Let's summarize this video. So what we dealt with over the last several days was a bunch of rain. It kept hitting us. James had to pull off after one small rain event. And then before he could return, before the grass was ready to harvest again, we got hit with a couple-inch gully washer. It took most of the rest of the seed, so we had a short harvest. So let's summarize this whole thing. We harvested likely less than 20 acres. Only profited $665 a piece. Now, for me, I didn't have to really even get out of bed. So, hey, sure, that's a win. But we'll talk about the most important part. But I want to touch on the fact that I really feel bad for these guys that have all this equipment, like James. He's got trucks, trailers, combines, and the fuel and the maintenance and the wear and tear to do all that. Come out here for several days. It was just a bad year for seed harvest. There was too much of it because we had too much rain in the local surrounding areas. So it drove the seed prices really low. So again, not a big problem for us, but I feel for those guys. So why would we then go and harvest seed other than, making $600? Well, the most important thing to me is that it takes the seed head off of the plant that my cattle might be forced to eat. What do I mean by that? Well, the areas that we harvested are what is known as winter stockpile. And we defer those areas through the season so that they can grow all season long, have a lot of winter feed on the ground come winter, and that's what we're gonna feed our animals. But in doing so, it really, really improves your soil by an increased amount of root exudates. That's another story for another time. Well, we take the seed off of the plant because if I have to graze it, the cattle are gonna go in there and top all those fescue seeds, and that is where a high concentration of endophyte is. It's actually ergoalkaloid, that the endophyte, a symbiotic fungus that lives in the cellular structure of the plant, becomes incredibly and increasingly toxic as the plant matures. The cattle come in and eat it. It raises their internal body temperature. It's a vasoconstrictor, so they don't move blood as well through their body. They can lose tails, ears, feet. It's a terrible thing, and increases their heat. So as you increase the heat in a ruminant, what do they have to do to combat that? Well, they have to stop eating or eat less. So rumination creates a ton of heat because basically a ruminant, let's say for lack of a better explanation, is just a composter. And you know how compost has an exothermic reaction due to the bacteria, and it creates a ton of heat. Same thing happens in them. So anything we can do to keep the heat off of our animals and not poison them, that is the most important thing to me as a stockman. So things to consider if you have Kentucky 31 fescue: do everything and anything you can, experiment with management strategies to not make them eat that stuff when it's too mature or has a seed on it. So those are things we do. It's really helped our animal performance. It's kept them from getting fescue fever, coupled with high summer temperatures, coupled with higher fiber content in your grasses. When you have a higher fiber content, more lignin, the rumination is going to create more heat. So it's all these things that create a perfect storm for poor animal performance, and you'll hear grazers call it the summer slump. Well, we just don't really experience the summer slump that much here anymore, because we've changed our grazing management. And as you can see, here we are in the middle of July, and this is what they're grazing. Beautiful, palatable, low fiber, high nutrition, high energy, high protein grass. So anyway, if you like this style of content and got any value from this video, we sure appreciate your like, your comment, or your follow. And remember, if you do like to follow us and you like this content, don't forget to I can't talk. Don't forget to hit the bell icon because it might not get suggested to you the next time we post a video unless you have that engaged or touched or smashed or what do people say? I don't know. Anyway, thanks for sticking around. We'll see you guys on the next one.